Alright, you guys, welcome back to Castlevania Symphony of the Night. In the last one, we did a lot more farming and got a couple more rare drops. Made our way through the clock tower and ended up in the castle keep where Richter fought Dracula in the beginning of the game. Now, we're going to go ahead and explore this area. We're not actually going to go in the room that Richter fought Dracula in because it doesn't serve us a purpose as of this point in the game. But we're just going to go ahead and knock out some map percentage while we're here. This video is going to consist of a lot of backtracking. You know, now that we have the ability to fly, we can actually go back through and hit some areas that we weren't able to before. But there we just got a ghost card, and he is going to be our first familiar that will actually attack enemies. Now, he's not the most useful, but, you know, I guess it is there nonetheless. So we'll go ahead and put him on. But yeah, let's just go ahead and cover up some of this gray. Again, I'm going to go in here, but I'm not going to go in the room that Richter fought Dracula in. We will do that at a later time. Platinum Mail. Let's see. That is not any better. So we will just go ahead and leave our Holy Mail on. Again, do not go left there. And now we are going to try to dodge the Flea Riders. Get out of here. Oh, here we go. Here we go. It begins already. You got... Oh, man, what a pain in the ass. You know what? There. How's that? Power of Mist. And the Fire Mail. Again, the Fire Mail is actually worse. And that is not the right button. But there's our Power of Mist, so we can now sustain the Mist form. I don't know why that's not covering up. Nope, not yet. And map percentage is very important in this game. You know, later on you get a piece of equipment that is stronger based on your map percentage coverage. Here, let's just try to knock out this other stuff real quick. We're not. We're just going to get knocked out, rather. Oh, there it goes. That, for whatever reason, it was just taking a while for the other patch of gray to be covered up. Let's see if that's the same case here. Maybe if I exit and re-enter. No, that didn't do it. Well, I know I'm covering it because I'm flying directly through it, so there should be no reason why that isn't counting. You suck. Get juked out, buddy. You weren't ready for that. There it goes. Okay. So now that we got this little top part filled out, oh, wow. I forgot to get the, you suck. Where I picked up the ghost card, I forgot to pick up the top part of that room. Come on. Okay. This part. And there are a lot of rooms like this in the game where you actually have to, you know, fly into the top corners to unlock the piece of the map percentage that you need. So make sure you're wary about that. But let's go ahead and hop on down. And we're riding the Harry Potter broom, okay. I think for our next portion here, we are, we'll backtrack through the the Royal Chapel and pick up the couple gray spots that we missed over there. It might end up being better for me to make some of these runs off screen, so we will see. Give me the money. So much nicer running through here with something longer than a jewel knuckle. Again, we cannot go in this room just yet. We need a special piece of armor called the Spike Breaker, and we will get that later. Okay, there's that covered. That should be covered. Can't go through there just yet. Okay. Sorry guys, I just want to make sure I cover everything. There we go. Okay. We gotta go over this way, knock out some of the corners that we missed. And we're actually going to head into the Coliseum here in a second, but I'm going to go finish out these corners that I was not able to hit because of the inability to fly. Get that corner. I'm just going to go ahead and fly through all of them. Oh, one thing you guys may have noticed too, while you're in your bat form, your bat kind of takes after the color of your cloak. Alright. Okay, so that cleaned that up. Let's head back up to the Coliseum. Okay, let's not do that. Dumb. I mean, wow. My attack button just did not want to register. Gonna jump across. And you guys might remember back in the video where we covered this Coliseum, I had talked about a hidden area in this particular room up here. And I showed you guys, but we weren't able to grab the item up there that, you know, just at that time. So, we can do that now that we have our bat. Now, I believe in the regular version of this game, the PS1 version, there is a sword. I think maybe a holy sword up here. But in the PS5 version, it is the N demon card. And basically, he's just another demon familiar. There's a demon familiar you get later on in the game. And they're essentially the same familiar, but just different voice actors and different looks. What am I doing? I am a fan of the demon familiar, so I'm gonna go ahead and equip him. Looks funny. That was not friendly. You know, as the demon gets leveled up, he becomes a pretty powerful familiar to have around, so it's always good to, you know, level him up. Let's... You know what I think we're going to do? I think we're going to backtrack to the alchemy laboratory. And I will go ahead and make that run off screen because there's a lot of, I guess, unnecessary screen time that needs to be seen here. So once we get back to the alchemy laboratory, I will be back. Alright, you guys, we are back. And that off-screen run didn't actually take too long, but, you know, I just made my way through the Royal Chapel and came through that blue door where we had to get the Jewel of Open, and we ran into Maria. But we are actually right before the room where you enter to fight Slagra and Gaibon, our first boss. And we're going to go ahead and go in. Because at the top of this room, well, I apparently missed a chunk at the bottom left of this room too. There we go. But at the top of this room, you know, we obviously weren't able to get this before, but we can now. Little pathway up here. And we got the Bat card. Now that is a Bat familiar who also will attack enemies with you. And, you know, he's one of those familiars that also gets more powerful the more you level up and whatnot. I think at max level he can have like 3 or 4 other bats. And basically every time you fire a fireball, they'll fire a fireball, so on and so forth. I'm going to stick with the demon familiar for now. I just prefer him. But we are going to continue working our way through the laboratory here. Again, my attack button just has a mind of its own. Okay. I love the music in this game. But here we are, back towards the beginning of the alchemy laboratory. And we're going to come up to where that first green knight is, and we are going to fly up in that little hole in the ceiling. And here is the skill of Wolf. So now whenever we are in our wolf form, he can do a speed run. But we are actually going to continue going, you know, back towards the beginning. This time we're going to track all the way back to where, almost to where we first ran into the castle. Now you guys might remember in the beginning of the game, I had talked about there is something that we can do with this little random rock formation in the middle of this castle. Well, we now have the ability to do what I was talking about. And you might notice down here by all these mermen, just a random corner down here. Well, if you come to the side, you know, since we're backtracking, we are on the side coming from where Death took our items. You're going to go in as a bat, stop about halfway through, switch to a wolf, and then come out. And that is just a fun little hidden thing in the game. You know, there's no sound to let you know that you were successful. It just, it just happens. But anyway, you go in, you grab yourself the life apple and the jewel sword. And what the jewel sword does, you know, it is a very slow weapon. It has the same attack speed, but it's very, very slow. But it has the chance to turn enemies into gems that you can sell to the librarian. And, you know, I think later on in the game, like in the inverted castle, the chance of turning enemies into gems is much higher. I think, like, you know, the harder the enemy, so to say, the better the chance. But yeah, that's a fun little fact. We'll go ahead and put the star flail back on. Okay, let me see where I want to backtrack to next. Ah, duh, I need to completely overlook the fact that, you know, we need to go out to the very front of this and grab, you know, the top portion of it. Got our power of wolf, and now whenever we're in our wolf form, he doesn't use as much of our magic power. But here's that little ability we got earlier. He just shreds through enemies, and that's a good way to to cover up. You know, if you got a long straight hallway like that and you need to zoom on through, the wolf will take care of that for you. You know, real quick, I could backtrack to wow, my mind's drawing a blank. The clock tower, not the clock tower, the clock room, and show you guys where I picked up the a la carte armor. You know, I had told you guys I would show you. I guess in hindsight, I should have done that before I came all the way down here, but go ahead and do that quick because it's going to be useful for you guys if you decide to do some rare drop farming later on. Wow, that was a foobar all the way around. Ah, just lots and lots of backtracking. But, you know, that's one of the beauties of this game. Some people like it, some people hate it. This is personally one of my favorite games. I don't mind it, so... Hey, I think that's their... We just got their rare drop, the circlet. Alright, buddy. That's enough of your shenanigans. Yeah, take care of them, demon. You need to level up anyway. Alright, so we made it back to the clock room, but, you know, I told you guys that you do need the stopwatch sub-weapon in order to go over to this side. So I'm going to go show you where to get that real quick. I apologize if you can hear my cat playing with this cat tree in the background. Ah, there it is. Okay, so we got our stopwatch, and we need to make our way back. Okay, so we're gonna first fly up this middle pathway here. Again, I had already came here during the, you know, whenever I farmed out the heaven swords, but up here is where you would find, you know, the gravity boots, and there was a life apple, a hammer, and I think maybe a potion up here. And then on this side was the gravity boots. They were just laying on the ground over here, and those are what give you the ability to do that jump where if you're pressing, you know, your down, up, and then jump button, you can do that. So that's on the middle path. Now if you use your stopwatch, that opens up the right side. You would come up here, and your a la carte sword and shield and the mail would be in these two rooms. But now that we've covered that, we are actually going to go over this way and climb up through Olrox's quarters. Yeah, this is the way we came to get to the Colosseum. But we actually didn't cover a pretty good sized portion of this, so... Didn't look like I missed any chunks on my way through, so we're going to, wow, miss that jump. Okay, and you know, just before this teleporter room, you know, we have this pathway here that goes up, and we could not cover any of that, so we are going to fly up. Mana Prism. Resist fire. Luck potion. Hey, that could have maybe potentially helped us whenever I was farming those heaven swords. But here we are. And do not, whatever you do, do not jump too high and hit your head off of those spikes in the ceiling. That is gonna hurt. You know, I'll take that for now since I don't have my holy water. The Astak. That is a two-handed weapon, so we do not want that. I do not want that, though. Give me that back, please. Do I want to go through here just yet? You know what? Yeah, I will. Go ahead. Not a big deal. So, you need to have your bat form or wolf form to be able to get through there, but funny thing if you go through and then try to get back into your Alucard form, you get stuck. You know, he kind of just says, "What?" and then you can't move. But here we will go through. And this is where you prepare to fight Olrox. And he's dead. He kind of has a cool animation though when he dies. Okay. Back on through we go. There we have our Echo of Bat. So now, when you're in your bat form, he gets a sonar ability. And there is a use for that later on. But we're going to make our way back through. And we're gonna go right. Again, this is another one of those areas where you're gonna have to be in your bat form to get a lot of this map percentage. Unless you feel like trying out your new gravity boots and just bouncing around. There's a save point. We're not gonna stop just yet. These guys cannot hit you, but it is rather disturbing. And there we have our sword familiar card. Now, he's a pretty cool familiar to have too. I usually don't, you know, I usually level him up last. You know, I like him, but he's definitely not one of my favorite familiars. In this version of the game, once you get him to, I think, level 50, he eventually becomes equipable as one of your weapons. And I think at max level, which is 99 for them, you know, from level 50 to 99, whatever level he is his attack power. So 50, he'll be plus 50 attack power, and so on and so forth. He does unlock different abilities, like the Sword Brothers. You know, in the PS1 version, there used to be a glitch where if you did the Sword Brothers, the Sword Brothers ability, and talk to the librarian, you used to be able to get a money glitch. So you can't do that in this version. So whenever the time comes that we want to get the duplicator for 500,000 gold, unfortunately, we just have to farm out 500,000 gold. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Cool thing about this little fountain, it turns red. Okay. We'll cover up that map percentage here shortly. And if you can, oh, there's our holy water. Okay, and somewhere, I think, there it is. You know, in the PS1 version of the game, that little pathway we just broke right there, this would be where you find the sword familiar. But in this version, that is where we find our secondary fairy card. You know, like I said, this game does have some differences. You know, in the PS1 version, there's only one fairy and one demon. Whereas this version, we have two different fairies, two different demons, and they are kind of in different spots. But again, not one of those items we're gonna go through here real quick, just to break this little statue that's holding that in place, and that'll take us to the Royal Chapel if we ever need. But yeah, very, you know, that's one of those things that I tend to level up last, just because I'd rather have a familiar that helps attack enemies on my journey through the castle. But let's cover up this map percentage. And once we finish covering this up, I'm going to actually go ahead and stop at the save point that's over here. And in the next one, we will end up doing some more backtracking. We still got we still got quite a bit to cover. You know, we got to go into the underground, get those areas we couldn't get to before. Okay, why is none of this covering up? It would help if I was actually in the correct portion. Yeah, there's definitely some bugs in this version of the game, because that, I don't know why it does this sometimes, where, you know, it takes a minute for it to pop up that you filled out the map in a certain spot. You know, it obviously shows that I'm in the correct chunk that's missing, but it's just not filling out. Maybe if I go up here. Nope, that did not fix it. Yeah, I'll mess with it later on, but we're just gonna make our way over to the save point. Which was not over there, but rather down here. Come on. Nope, see, there it goes. It fixed itself already. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and stop it here, guys. And, you know, in the next one, we are going to do some more backtracking and see where all we end up. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you in the next.